Hi, I'm Wes, the Explosion, and I did not get a video together for this week. I had a script I was working on. It took me longer than I thought to get it to a place that I was happy with, or at least close enough. And even then, I realized after the fact that it was going to take a lot longer to edit the video than I was thinking originally. But because I feel compelled to do a video each week, I decided to get some new footage of me doing 9.9 and Century Smash in Smash Ultimate, and just kind of ramble about some of the news stories that have come up that I wouldn't be able to get a full video out of, but can just talk about a little bit casually unscripted here. Flying by the seat of my pants a bit here, so bear with me, or just sit back and watch my slightly above average gameplay. Starting out, a port of SNK vs. Capcom Chaos got just dropped. From what I see for the listing, it looks like it's on Steam, Switch, and PS4, which I think means you can also get it on PS5. I don't know. Somebody wants to confirm or deny that, that'd be just dandy. Anyway, this game was suggested to me a while ago because Zero was in it, specifically from what I understand, Mega Man 00. When I went to look at the roster on Wikipedia, it had him listed as just a boss, so I was a little disappointed, but looking a bit closer, it does say that they're unlockable. Heck, I think it says that in the port, they're just unlocked right from the beginning, so I probably will be picking this up at some point, even though I am pretty mediocre at pretty much all fighting games. I'm only kind of decent at Smash because there's platforming elements. Capcom also had its shareholder meeting, and initially I only saw the Mega Man stuff, but I actually did go back and read the whole thing. And I was kind of surprised. There was the stuff I was expecting, the corpo speak and just the lip service, but they actually gave a few, solid and thought out answers, which kind of surprised me. Would've lost that bet. As for the Mega Man stuff, the specific question that was asked was, please tell me what plans you have for the Mega Man series. To which they got back, Mega Man is one of our highly valued IPs, and we are considering how to create games for it on an ongoing basis. And yeah, they said something pretty similar last year. To be fair, games do take a while to make, so there is always the possibility that after the meeting last year, they started working on something and they're just not ready to reveal any details. At the same time, though, since nothing's really changed since then, I'm not gonna get, too terribly excited about it. I think this is more of a, I'll believe it when I see it sort of deal. You know what I mean? And because this is YouTube, where wild, unfounded speculation is what gets the clicks, I'll give my own guesses for what I think the next Mega Man game will be. I could see it being one of three things. First is obviously classic. 11 sold the best in the franchise, the original Blue Bomber's the most recognizable, and it's just kind of an evergreen property. My second guess would be Battle Network, because the whole thing that prompted the, question in the last shareholder meeting was the great success of the Legacy Collection from that. And then third is Rockman Tyson, which, I'm beginning to feel a little dumb continuing to bang on about that since it's been a while since we first heard about it. Then again, it was a leak, and I did hear that there might have been some sort of delay on that. There were some complications in at Capcom. And looking it up, it looks like it was supposed to release in the second half of last year. So if it did get delayed, it's not far enough out that we need to be completely worried about it. Not sure at what point we start to panic and worry about it being canceled, but I don't think we're quite at that point yet. I'm hoping to see something official on it soon, but I've kind of been hoping. There was also mention of the Super Elections, which Mega Man did fairly well on that, but that was one of the things that felt more like lip service. It kind of came across as somebody saying, I love all of my children equally with the answer they gave. They also talked a bit about expanding into other medias with some of their properties. They mentioned about how the Street Fighter movie from way back when still brings in a good bit of cash for them. So it wouldn't surprise me if they started, getting on the movie bandwagon as well. Mario movie did very well, Sonic movie did very well. While I don't think Mega Man would be the first thing that they would adapt, At the same time, I don't think it'd be too terribly far down the list, just because of how recognizable he is, and that the two properties that I just mentioned were both, mascot platformers as well. The next thing though has me really excited. Udon announced that they have the license to make a Mega Man comic, specifically working with the license for Classic, X, Zero, ZX, and Legends, so the main timeline. From what Proto-Dude's Rockman Corner says, Star Force and Battle Network both have their rights tied up with other companies, which makes sense, those two did both get animes. But yeah, I was a really big fan of the Archie run on Mega Man, though this move comes as a bit of a mixed bag since that pretty much means that that's never coming back, though it's been on hiatus for I want to say at least 10 years, so it was probably never coming back. So, while not my ideal, it is still at least something, plus Udon normally does a pretty good job, so I think it'll be fun. I do want some more details though, like how's it going to be structured? Is it going to be a bunch of one-off stories? Will there be some short arcs? Or will it have an overreaching story? Given how we're dealing with 5 different series here, that last one feels unlikely, but there's always time travel or dimension hopping, or given that they are all a part of the same timeline, they could jump around and the consequences of one could be felt in another. Then there's the question of who's going to be writing this. My top picks would be Ian Flynn, since I love the Archie comics, and Hitoshi Ariga, since I loved Megamix and Gigamix. Both feel pretty pie in the sky, but at the same time, Udon did host Ariga at the event, so never say never. But then again, the promotional image they put out there didn't look like Ariga's artwork, so who knows? It's also entirely possible that they, shuffle the writing staff. Maybe somebody does a ZX story this week, somebody else does an X story the week following. Who knows? As long as they don't get Ken Penders or Rob Liefeld, I think we'll be fine. But yeah, I'm pretty excited, and I'll probably talk more about it when either we get closer and get more details, or when the first issue drops. And hey, if you're excited too, go down to your local comic book shop and tell them that you want Udon's Mega Man! Not sure if they'd be taking subscriptions on that yet or not. And hey, if you don't want to open a box for just one comic, Moon Knight and IDW Sonic have been pretty good, so I'd recommend them too. That wasn't the only news we got from Udon Publishing though. Apparently they're going to be doing translated versions of Mr. Mega Man and Little Mega Man, which I read a fan translation of Rockman-san and really enjoyed it, so I'll definitely be checking these out and would recommend anybody else who just wants some, I guess technically very well done Mega Man fanfic in their life. It's manga, so it'll have pictures. Speaking of, they're also publishing the X-Dive Complete Works, which, say what you will about the game, it has some nice artwork. I already have the Japanese edition, but just for completionist nerdiness sake, I'll probably pick this up. They're also doing an art book collection for things that weren't previously collected in the Complete Works, most notably Legends and ZX, because I guess those two just aren't special enough to have their own books. Man, they cannot catch a break. Then again, I have a special edition of the Complete Works that has both Classic and X in it, so maybe we should just look at this as a bonus, since we'll only have to buy it once. Wonder who will get top billing on the cover, though. Last bit of news, Hitoshi Ariga, well, I'll just say it in his own words. In a tweet, he said, "I am thrilled to announce that I have received the prestigious Inkpot Award at Comicon 2024. This award, with its long history, is an incredible honor. I deeply feel that this achievement is not solely mine. The inherent charm and popularity of the Rockman character content, along with the unwavering support from my editors, assistants, and the Udon crew who created and distributed the English version, have all contributed to this recognition. I am sincerely grateful to everyone who has read and supported my manga. I will continue to work hard to live up to this award, not only with Rockman, but in all my future projects. Thank you very much." As mentioned previously, Hitoshi Ariga Sensei is the mangaka behind the Megamix and Gigamix adaptations of Mega Man. These gave us not only some pretty sick but still recognizable redesigns of a lot of the characters, but also adapted the story pretty well for a series that normally puts little to no thought into it. It might actually be my favorite manga series, though Dragon Ball and Fullmetal Alchemist are also pretty up there. Yes, I know I'm showing my age and am very basic. Besides that, he's also designed some Pokemon and done work for Shovel Knight, so he is a very accomplished artist, and this is very well deserved in my opinion. A few other fun tidbits: his favorite robot master is Heatman, and I've heard stories of him popping into people's chats when they're streaming Mega Man, so his love of the series definitely goes beyond just the professional. I think we're very fortunate to have him. That about wraps things up, but we're still not quite to the end of my new record in Century Smash, so let me just yammer on for about a minute or so yet. Also, I have a Discord server now. If you're interested, the link is in the community tab, and if not, no pressure. If there isn't much activity there, I will just get right back to writing scripts. Speaking of, the one that I didn't quite give myself enough time for was on just the returning hazards that people seem to hate in the Mega Man series. You can probably predict what some of the things I'll be talking about will be. Not sure if I'm completely satisfied with it, so maybe it'll be out next week. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'll continue to drag my feet. Also got 3 other scripts mostly done. 2 on Pikmin and 1 on Danganronpa. Since that's not my normal fare, I will probably save each of them for a week when I have absolutely nothing else ready as a filler. Except for maybe that Danganronpa one. I'm not sure I'm willing to risk the trouble that one would probably cause. So, with all that said, I think we can finally end this. Might actually have to splice in just a little bit of extra footage. Be sure to let me know which stories you were the most excited about. Links to the full things in the description, and if there's any you'd like to see me cover more in-depth in the future. Almost regret not doing the full Capcom Shareholders thing, but some of that would have been really dry and sleep-inducing, so it's probably better that I didn't. Anyway, that'll do it, so thanks as always for watching, and maybe consider subscribing if you're into platformers, especially Mega Man. For everlasting peace.